check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. Use the promo code GoodFeelingOnBox and get 18% off their 100% all natural products. Website, promo code, and description. Go tell them Goodfellas Sports TV sent you. We gone. All right, man, we back. Goodfellas Sports TV. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. I will do a wrap-up live stream today, God willing, the fights this weekend. And, and a little bit of more, what we got going on, all right? But let's talk about two fights we had last night, two main events. Jesse Hart has an excuse on why his performance versus Joe Smith Jr. was subpar, and Jaime Munguia failed to call out Demetrius Andrade, but called out Canelo, Triple G, and Jermall Charlo as well. So let's talk about it. Let's start off with Jesse Hart. Jesse Hart said he hurt his hand in his last sparring session. All right. Says that he hurt it about a week ago. And he ain't trying to make no excuses, but that's what it was. At the end of the day, maybe that's why he was so, passive. It's a difference between boxing and running. And last night he was running. All right, and not having your primary weapon, which his right hand is his primary weapon, and not being able to throw it the way that he wants to throw it, I probably could believe that affected his performance. I can. I'm not even gonna sit here and hold up, but then again, I seen him more crisp in his offense than that. Even with Gilberto Ramirez, eventually he settled down and he was finding a home for that right hand. So at the end of the day, I think he underestimated Joe Smith Jr. I mean, healthy or not healthy, he underestimated that man. If you think you can go in there and dominate somebody at less than 100%, or unless, without your primary weapon, knowing that you weren't going to be 100%, then, that's your fault. He probably seen what Dimitri Bivol did to Joe Smith Jr. Well, I think Sullivan Barrera beat him in the 10-rounder that was scheduled for 12, but I'd never seen that happen. They switched it to 10 rounds in the middle of the fight because it was so boring. Just seeing that Joe Smith Jr. just didn't have a lot of skills, I think he underestimated him. And him coming into this fight, with one hand, basically, just told me everything I need to know. He thought he was going to come in there and dominate him. It was going to be easy, but he didn't have the right hand to keep him there, and he didn't have a good enough jab, or he didn't have enough patience, or he didn't know how to really stick the jab down his throat, step over, or check hook, step over, and keep him turning. He didn't know how to keep the fight in the center of the ring. He didn't know how to stand on his power, hold his ground. But it's hard to hold your ground when you don't really have the skills, and then you don't have your primary weapon of the right hand. All right. So when he didn't have that jab, and he didn't know how to turn Joe Smith Jr. and get on the inside and put his right hand, keep his right hand up to defend against the left hook and bang on the inside, it was over with. If he had a right hand, that would have gave him a chance, and maybe he would have hit Joe Smith Jr. with a shot, and he would have made him retreat. But then again, that's his fault. He should have pushed the fight back, should have called the fight off, but he underestimated that guy. That's point blank, period. That guy packs a big punch with both hands, and it was a bad stylistic matchup for a guy that got one hand. So, I mean, it is what it is. You got people questioning his heart, questioning, his skills, questioning his corner. And, I'm one of those guys. I felt that he got punked. I felt that he got ran out the ring. I felt that he don't even belong in the top 20 of the light heavyweights in the world after that performance. Because remember, this is not a top 5 guy. This really probably ain't even a top 10 guy. All right, and Joe Smith Jr. This is one of those dudes that's more tougher than skilled. And, you supposed to dominate a guy like this when you're at your best. It ain't that he at 68 or 75. He losing to everybody at 68 too. He just not that good of a fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's sloppy. He don't have no coordination. Footwork was terrible. Squaring up. Like, he just need to go back to the fundamentals and get a teacher. You know what I'm saying? He need to get a real teacher to really show him back the basics. But he got the athletic ability. He got the athleticism, no doubt in my mind. He got the speed, he got the height, he got the reach. He a little small in the lower body area. He need to go put some weight on that area. But to me, he not a top 20 light heavyweight. He may not be a top 20 168 pounder. Just knowing how that division is, he hadn't fought nobody until he fought Gilberto Ramirez, and Gilberto Ramirez has not fought nobody in his career. All right, Top Rank just mismanaged and matchmade both of those guys, and for they veteran matchmakers, tis on them, terrible on them. When they veteran matchmakers, they move those two guys terrible, and right now you seeing that their career hasn't really, it haven't really matured into what it should be, but. Hey, that is what it is. All right, to another guy that hurt his hand, Jaime Munguia, I got the drop, hurt his hand last night. That's why he stopped throwing the jab, and he started leading off with shots last night. Last night, if you didn't see the fight with him, he was looking really, really well utilizing his jab. All right, he looked really, really good coming behind the jab, but he hurt his hand as well last night, so I wanted to put that out there. But he looked improved, against Gary Spike O'Sullivan, and he's still a prospect. Contrary to what people believe, but Morales is doing some good work. Yes, old Eric Morales that had wars with Barrera and had a war with Marcos Maidana late in his career is his coach, and they doing a good job. You just, got to be patient with him. But he called out Golovkin. He called out Golovkin, Triple G. He called out Canelo. He called out Jermall Charlo, but he didn't call out Demetrius Andrade. So you got everybody saying that Demetrius Andrade is the boogeyman of the division. Demetrius Andrade should be, like I said before, with that talent level, he should be pound for pound #1 in the world. All right, he got a lot of talent, but I don't think nobody feeling sorry for him about him being the boogeyman in the division, or him not getting fights, because when the fights was on the floor with Charlo, when he had other opportunities to fight guys, he just didn't take advantage of them. You know what I'm saying? And with him not taking advantage of those fights, now he fighting to get fights while he's still at the tail end of his prime. And he going to be one of those guys. What if he would have fought dudes at his best? With a guy that had the Olympic pedigree, he signed with Star Banner Boxing Promotions, whatever the two called. He made bad decisions like Andre Ward did. And with they bad business decisions, I see nobody in boxing make as bad business decisions as Andre Ward and Demetrius Andrade last decade. And with those bad business decisions that he made, it's hurting his career. So can't nobody really feel bad for him pulling out of fights and signing with, lower level promoters or promoters that don't have his best interests. And, once again, he had the opportunity to sign Premier Boxing Champions. It didn't happen. So at the end of the day, you can't look at a guy like Jaime and say what you want to say. He don't hold a world championship no more. All right. He's a prospect. But you can't sit here and shun him and degrade him or give him criticism when Jermall Charlo saying no mas to him as well for $7 million. I heard DAZN was willing to go as high as $10 million, but they are talking to Al Heyman about making the Jermall Charlo fight. But hey, when you got a guy like Jermall Charlo who trying to be the best, who right now 29 years old, and Jaime 24, 25 years old, and he don't want to fight Demetrius Andrade. You got Golovkin, who 37, 38 years old. He don't want to fight Demetrius Andrade in the unification bout. I can't sit here and blast Jaime Munguia when the trend in the division is don't nobody want to fight Demetrius Andrade. Even Canelo Alvarez don't want to fight him. Billy Joe Saunders could have got another shot at him and get his title back. He didn't want to fight him. So I'm not about to pour on to this kid, and he ain't the champion no more. So spare me with that. I know if you a champion, you should be ready for everybody. That ain't this no more. He had his first fight at middleweight, showed some improvement, hurt his hand, but none of my seem to want to fight Demetrius Andrade, but you know who fought that is? Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade should have fought Lara. He should have fought Jermall Charlo. He probably would have got Jermall Charlo at 54 already. And instead of sitting around waiting for Canelo and waiting for a big fight, he should have fought those guys. He should have built his resume up. He was also offered WBO Super Champion status, where he could have went up and fought Matt Korobov, and he said it wasn't enough money. He always saying, for a dude that don't fight, it ain't never enough money. And he passed up on that shot. That's when Peter Quillen dropped his belt. Because Al Heyman didn't want him to work with Rock Nation. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he passed up on the opportunity. Andy Lee ended up knocking out Korobov. He ended up getting stripped of his belt for inactivity. You know, Canelo came down and fought the winner of Liam Williams, which was Liam Smith for the belt. And, you know, he made a lot of bad business decisions. I mean, you know, and now you can't feel bad for him. It ain't that he just the boogeyman of the division. People can hide behind the fact that he done pulled out of fights. He turned down fights. He hard to negotiate with. And can't nobody dispute that. So, you know, basically put it to you this way. If you order something from a company, right, online, and they got your order wrong, right, and you was like, all right, I give them a second shot. They got your order wrong again. You get your third shot. They got your order wrong again. Fourth, fifth shot, they get your order again. So you really gonna want to work with that company again, no matter how good the deal is? No. They messed you over 5 or 6 times, and that's Demetrius Andrade. Just to keep it real. Now that he felt like he exhausted all his options, you know, now he wanna fight the best because ain't nothing left on the table to do. Now his whole career been pretty much a tune-up. He fought some guys. He fought Jack Coldcloud. He fought Vinus Monterosian. He beat Willie Nelson. You know what I'm saying? He fought some guys. But for a guy who built his career up on Friday night fights and was deemed to be the next face of boxing, bad business decisions, and I just think lack of confidence is also in there with his bad business decisions, and won more money than he owed, than he worth. So I don't blame Jaime for not calling him out. You know what I'm saying? For what? Don't nobody else want to fight him, so it is what it is, man. But hey, it is Goodfellas Sports TV. I'll link an article in the description where Jesse Hart saying that. Y'all can see the post-fight interview on the DAZN. If I can find that, I'll put that in the description as well. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you got business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Want to make a donation? That link's in the description. Check out our sponsor once again, TheHealthBlaze at TheHealthBlaze.com. Promo code Goodfella1Box. Get you 18% off the 100% all natural products. All the information in the description.